Tonight, relief is coming to millions of Americans who are struggling to repay their student loans. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Jesse Pagan. Right now, there's an estimated $1.6 trillion in outstanding federal student loan debt. And for 43 million borrowers, the average amount owed is about $29,000. Under the plan President Biden announced today, if you make less than $125,000 a year or $250,000 as a couple filing jointly, you will see $10,000 of your federal student debt forgiven. That amount doubles to $20,000 if you received a Pell Grant during college. Now, this is only for loans taken out before July 1st of this year. President Biden says in all, nearly 45% of the more than 40 million borrowers will see their debt wiped out.
That's 20 million people who can start getting on with their lives. All this means people can finally crawl out from under that mountain of debt.
The president also extended the pandemic repayment pause that's been in effect since March of 2020 one final time through December 31st. Many of those in income-driven repayment plans may also see their monthly payments cut by half. Here in California, roughly 3.8 million people are carrying some form of student loan debt. That's nearly 10% of our population. That debt averages to about $37,000 per person. And while this forgiveness will help them, many want to know what's being done to bring the student debt crisis under control for future generations. CBS 8's Richard Allen found out.
Well, that's right. Well, President Biden's announcement promises to have a significant benefit for millions of borrowers. Some say more needs to be done to address the underlying problem, the enormous cost of higher education here in the U.S.
I think it's definitely going to help out a lot of people, that's for sure.
Patrick Conerney is a first-year MBA student at the University of San Diego and already has about $30,000 in student loan debt from his undergraduate education.
My personal opinion, you shouldn't take debt that you can't afford to pay off at some point, but I'm not going to say no. Can't say no to a gift horse right now.
While Patrick says this forgiveness will take some financial pressure off in the future when making decisions like buying a house, he says this doesn't solve the core issue.
I do think it definitely needs some reform. It has gotten way out of control.
The cost of education has exploded.
Alan Jin is an economics professor at USD. While he believes this loan forgiveness will benefit the 43 million borrowers nationwide who qualify, especially those who are lower income, he says the cost of higher education continues to outstrip inflation.
In the U.S., we put less in higher education than a lot of other countries, and it's more expensive for our students, and that's how they end up with a lot of debt.
Jin says that in recent years, the state of California has reduced its subsidies for the UC and Cal State systems, forcing them to raise fees significantly.
We're going to need more support, more public support then for higher education if we want to reduce future debt burdens.
We have to make it a high priority. We have to keep doing our share.
Tim Keene is dean of the Canal School of Business at USD, which as a private university does not receive state funds, relying on incremental tuition increases, which leads to out-of-reach costs for many students.
And we've got to start untangling that issue. We need to be more inclusive, and to be more inclusive means we need to be more affordable. That's a lot of years to try to undo.
And Keene says that scholarships are one way to help meet this gap, encouraging alumni who have benefited from their education to pay it forward. But he also concedes that from a policy standpoint, a lot more needs to be done.